Hello once again everyone, my name is Orionsgear and welcome back to the channel. We're going over the PRISMA GORGON today, we're going over the Incarnon form, we're going over the passives I chose, we're going over the build. But before we get into all of that, if I may present the idea, if you will, feel free to drop a sub. Helps me grow the channel, helps me know what you guys like, what you guys dislike. Feel free to let me know in the comments what you would change about this build. And with that being said, let's get into things. So the Incarnon form is an explosive bolt that you can shoot at enemies that does a small AoE of status damage. And the Incarnon passive evolutions that I ended up choosing was Hunter's Mantra, which gives me additional punch through and accuracy on channeled abilities. So think Gloom, because Gloom is a good example of a popular channeled ability. The third evolution, I chose reload speed because I think that the PRISMA GORGON's reload speed is a little bit too low or slow, and I think it needs to be kicked up a little bit. And my last one is additional crit chance, so it races from 30 to 36. It gives me more flexibility for, more crit chance without needing to invest it into the weapon. Now, getting into the build, we have Galvanized Chamber, Galvanized Aptitude, and Scope, all for additional and huge boosts of damage whenever the kill requirements are met. We have Vital Sense and Malignant Force, and Primed Cryo rounds for additional critical, multiplier, and viral. We have Vial Acceleration and Precision for an extreme amount of stability while firing. This contributes well to maintaining headshots and fire rate at the expense of a little bit of damage, but I personally believe that the fire rate makes up for the loss in damage. And lastly, we have Hunter's Munitions, because this is primarily, even though it's really a status build because the status percentage is higher, I consider this to be a balanced hybrid build because it's got the best of both worlds. And Hunter's Munitions does really well to hit every 1 in 3 times. And Primary Deadhead is in the Arcane slot because if I'm going to have a high amount of stability and a high fire rate, plus Galvanized Scope, plus Viral, I may as well be using Primary Deadhead. Now, getting into the live portion of the video, I would like to say that I'm now using Gloom, so I've got the channeled abilities active, so I directly benefit from additional punch through, as you can see. The regular build is okay, doesn't do too bad against level 180 Corpus Tech Eximus. But once the kill conditions are met on the Galvanized mods, then headshots become an absolute breeze. Moving on to the Incarnon form, a charged bolt with a small AoE does do quite well against a variety of enemies, mainly Grenade units down here. What I think is really lacking though is the sheer devastating power of a Boltor, so I think the Gorgon suffers from Somaitis, and Somaitis basically being, if it's a bullet hose and it's got an Incarnon form, it's probably not going to be doing too well on release. As of the 31st of the 7th, or the 31st of July, there has been no announcement for buffs or nerfs to this weapon, and I hope that I hope DE make the decision to change that and buff this Incarnon form a little bit more, because there simply isn't a reason to, there isn't a justification in my head to use this weapon outside of its regular form, because the Incarnon form just seems to be it's okay. Anywho, this has been the PRISMA Incarnon showcase video. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.